Hey Justina, so I'm going to run through a couple things that we talked about today. Add or removing the waiting children, tables and menus and pictures. So I want to start with tables because you'll probably want to access that more often than the rest from time to time. So I already have the contact information page open so I can just kind of show you an example. Um, as you can see, I mean, there's the table in the normal editor. If you want to, add or edit, so to edit tables, obviously you can just write whatever you want inside of the brackets. Um, to edit tables, the way it works is it breaks it up into columns. Um, so what tr like also this is a beginning tag. Same with TD. A trailing tag always has the forward slash, and it's always going to be the same as the starting set tag. So obviously, I mean, this one starts with just TD, and then the ending tag is slash TD. Um, so in a table, what TD is it's actually the content inside of this little block. Um, so for example, I mean, you can see there's New York City, Susan Roman, and a phone number. Um, So there's three TDs, and that's where the three individual blocks come from. Um, from TR to TR is an entire row. Let's just work on the bottom one. TR to TR is the entire row. It works the same with beginning and trailing slashes. So say that you wanted to add a row to it, I would just copy that code and add it to it, and then you'll see it. It's duplicated. Obviously, oops. Obviously you can edit anything in any of these, and it won't affect the row above it now that the code has been added to it. So there's that. Also, if you want to remove a line, you just go TR to TR, and if you look inside of the code, I mean, it's fairly obvious what the code is actually wrapping around as well. But TR to TR again will remove it. So just to show you, let me copy this before I do it. See, it would have removed the bottom line. Let's put that back in there. Let's see. So I always set the table width to be 99%. And what 99% is, it's 99% of the total element size. And the element size is the size of the page content. And the only thing that's controlled by is what's left over after the sidebar is added onto the page. So it's automatic. I mean, and again, let me show you. It's at the very top. It's actually a table class. I'm just going to copy it just in case. So if you move any of these, I just shrunk that. It will actually try to adjust it to a predetermined pixel size. And obviously, there's the width and there's the height. So, if you do ever move those around, all you have to do is just erase the height part completely. Sure. And in CSS, the beginning and wrapping tags are always these. It's actually this right here is normally the wrapping tag is a little semicolon. So if you just remove the style of the height with the width back to 99 or 100%, the table should just go back to the way that it was. But in terms of actually moving the table around, you really shouldn't have to do that for any reason. But I mean, if you find yourself doing it, then that would be why. All right, so that covers the tables. So waiting children, down here is the main settings and all that stuff. unless you guys want to change, general settings or how it's laid out, you should never really need to go down here. To add or remove waiting children, obviously if you just want to add a new one, you could just go to add new. All waiting children will be a list of them, and also with pages and posts and anything that resembles like this page, you can actually search for names specifically. So you can do this with a page as well. Obviously Andrea's right here, but if I search for it, it will only pull back this result. So that will help quite a bit if you know the child's name that you want to edit. Anyways, once you find the child, just click on edit. Again, this can all be done in Visual Editor. So what I do is I always write how many years old they are at the very beginning, so they can see that on the waiting children page as the first text. In terms of pictures, I just have them all default to the medium size. I have them linked to the media file, so if they click on this picture, obviously they'll see the full resolution of it. And then I have it float to the right. So that's pretty simple. Phone number and the status. I just adjust the text color by going up here, clicking on burnt orange. I guess I thought it was red. Looks pretty red to me. And then I bold it again. Also over here, you just select whatever categories they fall into. So she's 5 through 9 in Columbia. There's that stuff. Everything else on the page you can actually ignore except for 4 things. So right here actually blocks this specific page. So what you'd want to do is just click here, and you're going to pick what page or what user groups are able to view it. If you click on all unlogged users, then everyone in the world can view the page. Basic users are the people that will sign up on the form. So you just want to click that. There's no feature image used for this. For a thumbnail image, a good rule of thumb whenever you're going through these, you need to upload a different thumbnail image. It is set that if you only have this image posted, it will default back to using just the first image that's posted on the page. But the problem with that is that if you don't upload it, it tends to be a little bit grainier from what I noticed. And also, the thumbnail image obviously is a different image size than the full picture is. So a really good rule of thumb here is this is the full one that's on the right side. If it fits into this box and it looks okay, then you probably don't need to edit it for a decent looking thumbnail. Most of the time what I did is I just cropped their heads and uploaded it just for the thumbnail, and I just added a 1 to the name. If they have the same exact name, obviously we'll just overwrite the previous one. But I mean, it's pretty simple. You don't have to worry about resizing it or anything. You really just need to crop out their faces. So that's pretty much all I did for the thumbnail picture. And then if you scroll down here on the Avada options, there's a post content. If you scroll down, the social share box is on by default because it's on for the adoption stories. So you'll want to hide that unless you want the little social buttons underneath of them. And then also the sidebar, you'll want to turn it on. So by default it's on no sidebar, so you just click default sidebar, and then that's it. You just click on update. Like I said, it is a little bit of a process, but it goes pretty quick once you get the hang of them. There's only there's only 4 steps to do after you actually write the content. So you lock the user right here, upload an additional thumbnail image. Like I said, you can use the original image. It will just auto-populate a thumbnail. It just, depending on the image dimensions, like everything else, it may not look good. Under post options, hide the social share box, and then under sidebar options, enable the sidebar. And then you just, post the content. So there's that. But while I'm on this page, I want to cover pictures as well, because you were asking me about this earlier. So whenever you're uploading a picture, this is just one off my desktop. Obviously, it looks like this. If you're going to upload a picture into any content, and this is the area I was talking about. Attachment display settings. Over here, you can set an alt tag, a description, a caption. A caption text will appear below the image. So, just for an example, I'm going to write Timmy, and you'll be able to see it actually below the image in its own content. You can set the alignment here. And like I was telling you on the phone, anything that's set here will always default back to the last settings that were used to import an image. So if you're doing like a bunch of waiting children all at once, is you'll only have to adjust this for the first one, and then it should be set by default to everything else that you'd want. So obviously to import it into waiting children, I'd have it right. I'd have it linked to the media file, so whenever they click on it, it becomes full size. And then on the size, I would select medium. Normally there's also a large option here, but the picture is not large enough for that option to be enabled. So, like always, I just have it on medium. I'll insert it into the post. Obviously, it's going to mess things up. But, you know, like I said, down here is a caption text. If you do want to link an image to something else, it's definitely easier to use this little link icon up here. And the only reason is because then you can search for pages instead of copy and pasting the code. So, you know, you can just search for the adoption page, and once you click on this, it will show, you know, it will auto-populate whatever the link is. Again, you know, to open it in a new window or tab, you just click on that, and then update, and then it will automatically go to that link. So let's undo that. I'm actually not even going to save that. So just exit out of that. The final thing that I want to cover is menus. Okay, so if you go under appearance, right here is the menus. Again, widgets is the sidebar. I think I covered that in a different tutorial. But if you want to edit the top menu, it works very similarly to adding a link. So, say I want to add our waiting children hosting and making a difference. I just click on them and then hit add to menu, and they will populate down here. If you're looking for something and you don't want to dig through all the files, again, you can just use the search, and it will find anything that's, you know, relative to that subject. So I'll just click these top three, hit add to menu, and then they populate down here. Again, if you want to make a drop-down menu, you would just drag them to the very first section where they will fall into. And then you'll see, I mean, it's a little bit off-centered, but then if you save the menu like this, it would be a drop-down menu, and I might as well just show you. So then there you go, and then it's automatically just a drop down on sign in. To remove any of the content on the menu, you would just expand the menu item and hit remove. If you want to just change the navigation label on the menu, you just expand the menu item and then change the navigation label. What the navigation label is the actual words that people see. So, you know, if you want to call making a difference, I don't know, Jimmy Two Shoes, if you wrote it right here, then that's what people would see. Once you're done making changes, all you got to do is save the menu. And that's it. Then no more drop down. Yeah, so that should pretty much cover anything. If you got any other questions or need help with anything, just let me know.